The Fauna and the Flora. Book 1. Return to Chenoa City. Written and read by Ali Cattail. This book is dedicated to soap opera fans, the most loyal people on Earth. Prologue. The Outer Forest. Trees tower like skyscrapers over the forest floor. At just 3 inches tall, Victor Newmouse towers over a dead body. It's uncanny. The dead mouse looks exactly like him. The same walnut brown fur, the same muscular tail. Even his mouse stash looks the same. Victor kneels in the dirt beside his dead doppelganger. His ears twitch, sensing for any witness to the scene. No. Only the wind knows his secret, and it dares not breathe a word. This creature's cruel fate has just become Victor's strange fortune. The best laid plans of mice go oft awry. Standing too fast, the tangled underbrush swirls beneath him. He touches the back of his head, and his paw returns a dizzy vision of blood. A surge of urgency floods him. He does not belong here. The outer forest is unfamiliar, but its inhabitants are infamous. In the distance, the hollow hum of water suggests he's near the great river. Follow the riverbank out of the forest and disappear into the prairie. He rolls up the sleeves of his favorite black satin button-up, reaches into his black trouser pocket, and retrieves an antique brass watch. The sun will be setting in a few hours. I'll be damned. I've got to get out of here. The Fauna and the Flora, starring Victor Newmouse. A single green leaf sweeps across the ground, skimming over the top of worn boots. Victor kneels down to pick it up, examines it, twirls it between his fingers, then flicks it over his shoulder. The leaf catches a breeze, moving swiftly through the air and landing into soft, ivory fur. Grace Adams. Grace turns her head, feeling the leaf flutter down her back. She gently sways her hips and swats it away with her long tail. The leaf sails away on a gust of wind before suddenly lodging in a nest of honey blonde curls. Mickey Newmouse. Mickey plucks the leaf from her hair, holding it delicately in her palm, then takes a quiet breath and blows it into the air. The leaf dances away, swirling between 2 long ears. A paw reaches up to catch it mid-flight. Jack-Rabbit Abbott! Jack-Rabbit grins, clutching it tightly, then flings it high into the air. The leaf soars to the treetops, then drifts lazily onto a silver-feathered shoulder. Cathra Chansor! Cathra raises an eyebrow, casts a downward glance, then brushes it away with her wing. The leaf tumbles down and dissolves into script. F&F. Chapter 1. From Forest to Farm. The forest and the prairie are the yin and yang of the world, distinctly different, yet harmoniously connected by the great river. For some creatures, stepping off the edge of either side means stepping off the edge of the universe. For Victor Newmouse, however, it's all just another place to set up shop. He earned his first 1,000,000 scraps while most mice his age were still being fed by their mothers. Now is simply an opportunity to do it again. As the cool darkness of woodland gives way to the increasing light and heat of the prairie, he stops for a cleansing drink of rainwater that has collected on a fern. He wipes the dripping liquid from his snout and glares back once more toward Chenoa City. With a defiant flick of his tail, he growls, "To hell with you all," then slips through the final branches that separate the life he's leaving from whatever lies ahead. Grass. Nothing but grass. Can't see through it. Can't see over it. Continuing south along the forest edge, he whack walks straight into a burr bush, ripping the finely woven fibers of his satin shirt. His fur is instantly invaded by little green burrs. Sharp, sticky, unrelenting. "This must be my lucky day," he quips, plucking a few burrs from his fur. Gradually, the grass becomes thinner, until it becomes beans. A bean field. There must be a farm nearby. He scurries along the planted path toward higher ground and climbs atop a mound of dirt. The brightness of the prairie sun is blinding to a creature who is used to living in the shadows, but he can mostly make out the terrain. Fields of sky-high corn and wheat sit alongside sprawling plots of lettuce and squash. The river continues south beyond the prairie, but here it spills into a lively little brook. Near the water, a mill wheel spins and splashes beside a shipping port. A community has settled here. Victor has bought and sold enough real estate to recognize the distinct architectural styles of different animal families. This appears to be a mixed community, mostly mice, squirrels, and rabbits, but the commercial farming operation is definitely of mouse proportion. A big barrel barn, a tall log silo, and a leafy picnic pavilion stand clustered together. Further in the distance, a red roof catches his eye. The peculiar roof sits atop a stately old tree stump farmhouse settled deep in a meadow. Refuge. The tree stump farmhouse is backed up to the woods. If he's stealth, he can reach it without running afoul of the field mice. The farm workday will provide enough distraction for him to sneak through the back door, scrounge a few medical supplies, and perhaps grab dinner to go. With sun-blind determination, Victor sets his path toward the red-roofed farmhouse. The sheer heat of the day is exhausting. He unbuttons another button on his torn black satin shirt. As he passes an old windmill, the breeze ripples through his burr-infested fur. He slips easily under a broken fence post and crouches underneath a weathered old swing, half buried in grass and wildflowers. He watches. He waits. No light is shining through the windows or beneath the door. The owner doesn't appear to be around. Staying low to the ground, he scrambles down a cobblestone pathway and creeps up the steps to the home's back entrance. But then, he stumbles. He misses a step. He crashes onto the stone with a hard smack. He freezes, crouching, waiting for the commotion to stir the attention of some mouse inside. But nothing happens. With a round, cupped ear to the ground, he listens for activity. No voices. No vibrations. The house is empty. He taps the door lightly with his knuckles, twists the wooden doorknob, and pulls it open confidently, like a magician revealing a trick. He slips through the arched doorway, gently clicking the door behind him. It's dark inside this unlit house on a blazing summer afternoon. He scans the walls for a light switch. No electricity. Charming. Slowly, his eyes adjust enough to make out his surroundings. He's in a kitchen. A large picture window sits above a sink, its curtains drawn, leaving the room in shadow. He separates the curtains just enough to let in a few beams of light, but not enough to attract attention. In the center of the room sits a modest dining table. Along the walls, an elaborate set of carved wood cabinetry and countertops that stretch into the darkness. To his right, an old-world-style icebox, and to his left, a wood-burning stove with an iron pot hanging above the cooktop. A small fire smolders. He grabs a pitcher of water, pours it into the pot, and waits for it to boil. Some mouse has been here recently, but for now, it's silent. It's safe. Not a creature is stirring, not even a... Suddenly, from the shadows, a scream pierces his ears. His head swells with a throbbing ache. He spins around, searching for the direction of the ear-splitting shriek. As he struggles to focus his eyes, a female voice shouts out, "Out of my house, varmint! Now!" Blame it on instinct, or blame it on the head injury. He lunges. In a flash, he's wrestling the shrieking figure into his arms, one paw clamped tightly over her mouth. "Sorry, doe, I can't have you screaming and bringing the field mice in here." She tries to cry out, but her sound is smothered beneath his paw. "Shh, shh, quiet now, I won't hurt you." She thrashes in his arms. "I'm just looking for some hot water and help. I was injured in the forest." She's a small mouse, barely half his size, but she's putting up a fight. Flashes of her ivory fur streak through the dim light as his paws sink deeper into her downy texture, clasping onto her slender bones. Guilt grabs hold of him. He would never lay harsh paws on a womouse. He just needs a pot of hot water. Okay, I'm going to let you go, doe, but promise me you'll stop screaming. I've got a bit of a headache." She nods her head, and he releases his paws. She steps back from his reach, slowly, cautiously, and then she dashes to the wooden countertop, re-emerging with a pair of salad tongs, and she's thrusting at him as if she had a sword. "For heaven's sake," he chuckles. "Salad tongs? What are you going to do with those? Toss me out of here?" She is not amused. She charges toward him, snapping the tongs wildly around his head with a snip and a snap until... Yow! She rips the tip of his ear. The thin skin tears in two. She returns to parrying position, poised for counterattack. Victor can hear the pain in his ear, a cruel trick of the senses, as the blood pulses, dripping onto the floor. That is going to leave a mark. A wry smile snaps across his face. Well, Doe, I suppose I deserve it. Consider it a warning, she hisses, snapping the tongs, snip, snap, sharp as a blade. And stop calling me Doe, or these tongs will find more tender bits of yours to snip. So much tenacity for a womouse who won't even look me in the eye. He lets out a breathy chuckle, wincing as the blood pools in his paw. Well, now we're getting somewhere at least. He scans the room for a towel. Tell me your name, and we can get down to business. She allows for a long silence that only seems to magnify the sound of his throbbing pain. I am Grace Adams, and you are a trespasser. There now. Names are a good start to any negotiation. My name is Victor He pauses. My name is Victor Miller. You may call me Victor. She lifts her chin defiantly. Very well, Mr. Miller. Since you seem to have an injury of the ear, perhaps you didn't hear me the first time. Get out of my house, or I'll make more than a salad of you. I'm inclined to believe you, Grace. He lets the name settle. But now I have 2 wounds to tend to. She taps the salad tongs against the countertop with a slow, rhythmic beat. A reminder. I'd wager a bet you had the first one coming to you, too. Well, that's a bet you'd lose. His body wobbles, weakening. Listen, I was attacked and robbed on my way out of the forest, and can't you see I'm bleeding here? The question somehow stuns her into silence. Only the sound of the boiling water fills the air. Fetch your hot pot, then, she insists, softening somewhat. I have sycamore leaves in the cabinet. We'll get you fixed up, and then you can be on your way. Breathing a sigh of relief, Victor allows himself the feeling that he's averted one crisis. Now he's ready to resolve the original one. He turns his attention to the stove and reaches for the hot, hanging pot. Then a wave of dizziness crashes over him. I think I'm going to. He staggers. He stumbles. He reaches out to steady himself. There is nowhere to go but down. He collapses, and the hot water pot follows, splashing and crashing to the kitchen floor. Burned, wet, bleeding, covered in burrs. His gaze drifts upward, searching for Grace. She's standing above him, holding a carving knife. He sighs. Put down the knife, Grace. You can't kill a mouse who's already dead. The Fauna and the Flora, starring Victor Newmouse. My name is Victor Miller. You may call me Victor. Grace Adams. But why? Why would you want everyone to think you're dead? Jack Rabbit Abbott. Victor Newmouse was a leech. Someday, Chenoweth City will thank me for getting rid of him. Mickey Newmouse. The best part of me was being Mrs. Victor Newmouse. Without him, I don't know who I am. Cathra Chansor. I know exactly who you are. You are Nicole Reed Fester Maincraft Newmouse. and we are going to get your life back. The Fauna and the Flora.
Stay close. I have a feeling it's going to be a very photogenic evening.
Audiobook, ebook, and paperback available everywhere books are sold. With collector's editions and digital extras at restlessforest.com.